you know why we're here? To make money. It's not working. Hello. Welcome back to Decentrahype. We're going to update you on Bitcoin today. And if the chat is affluently populated, then we will be accepting some, I don't even know what affluently means, but yeah, we'll be accepting some altcoins that you guys request. Hope you're having a fantastic day. It is midweek. There's not really a lot happening on the charts, but we will jump in and show you guys. Did you want to do the short term first, Chester? And also, how are you doing over there? What's good?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm all good.
Oh,
Sorry, I
good.
muted it and then unmuted it and then muted it again. Apologies for that. Hello, everyone who is watching. Nice to see you midweek again. As just echoing what Hamilton was just saying there, Bitcoin's not really doing that much, right? We're just literally consolidating. It's pretty bad, okay? Not the best price action in the world. But what we're going to do, we're going to do a breakdown on Bitcoin. And as Hammy said, if the chat's good and you guys want some requests, we can do that as well. Also, if you do like the channel, guys, make sure you just pop a little like on the video. It does help us out. But yeah, I'm going to start off with the short-term time frame here for Bitcoin on the Bybit chart coming through there, and just to show you guys what I'm working with. Oh, that's going to be a bit too big. Oh, I did not prep for this. Hold on, it's all gone to pot here.
Nailed it.
Right, yeah, sorry. So I've got to do it a little bit smaller so you guys can actually see it on the call here. But yeah, so as you can see, we do have the Bitcoin chart up here on the hourly. So far, what we were talking about, I think the last time we spoke, was this parallel channel scenario coming through like so, right? This parallel channel, this upward sloping parallel channel, if you will, and that essentially is is a rising parallel channel, and they tend to usually break to the downside, right? So the measure move for that is going to be like this, something along the lines of this, all the way down. I'm just going to get rid of a load of lines. It's a bit too messy. It's pretty hard for you guys to see. I can just redraw in the symmetrical triangle and the divergences and stuff in a second. So let me just get rid of these, and then we can start this all again. Rising parallel channel usually breaks to the downside. So what are we looking for? We're looking for a measure move down. If this is going to break down, the measure move we are looking for here is going to be something along the lines of this, like so. The breakdown could happen around this sort of area. In terms of a price for that, it will be around 21,000. And also, we do have a Fibonacci retracement, the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, the 50% area, very crucial here for Fibonacci. If we lose that in terms of a level of support, then it's basically confirmation that we are going to be heading down pretty rapidly from this area. Okay, the next level of support to be looking out for there for some sort of first take profit is going to be 20,850 sort of area. In terms of a price prediction, sorry, a percentile prediction for Bitcoin to be coming down here, it's going to be around 3.3% there, and you can see the volume weighted ATR band is leveling off perfectly for the final measure move completion of that take profit. Okay, so that's sort of what I'm looking for here for Bitcoin on the shorter term time frame. If we break down out of this chart pattern, that's not including the bearish divergence, which we're likely to potentially get coming through here from the current RSI, right? Which is obviously going to be, sorry, bullish divergence, which is obviously going to mean a bounce from this area, a bounce from the support of the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement as well. So very crucial stuff. The other thing that I'm looking out for here as well, guys, because if you're looking at like miniature micro market structure here, we can actually see we're setting a high here. We're setting lower highs coming through like so. So this is what the instant I'm sort of looking for here. It is going to be some sort of trend line coming down like so, because you can see resistance continuously being found here. And then also you can see our low, we've got higher lows being set gradually as well. And that does create, what do we call it? A symmetrical triangle chart pattern. So there is going to be a chart pattern inside of that parallel channel to be looking out for there if you were looking for some sort of micro breakout there. In terms of measure moves for that, let's do some. Let's see what we're working with. Obviously, I will go into that. I mean, obviously, we do have that bullish divergence to be looking out for there as well, which is going to be very crucial. So to the downside, not the best scenario in the world if you are looking for a little tiny scalp here for Bitcoin. And also, it is bang on that Fibonacci retracement as well. So yeah, these are the areas that we really kind of want to stay away from. So ideally, I wouldn't really be liking the idea of this short here. It's not really worth the time here. It's not the greatest percentages in the world if we are going to be looking for that initial take profit. In terms of completion of the measure move, it's a bit too choppy, right? There's a lot of bounce points, a lot of support to be looking out for there. To the upside, now we can talk profit, okay? Now we can talk profit because look at this empty space here, looking pretty good. Let's do a measure move for that because if we do see this bullish divergence play out here on the short-term time frame, then I would be looking for a nice little move up, a breakout of the symmetrical triangle chart pattern, which is technically at the top of this little uptrend here, which does make it a bullish pennant chart pattern. And they tend to usually break up here. So the measure move up is worth around 1.66% for a scalp there. I would be looking for a couple of take profits, right? First take profit around this 0.29% area, and then probably another one up at around 0.69. Love it. And then up around 0.9% there, just going on these highs on the levels of resistance that we have seen before, okay? So that's sort of what I'm looking for here on the shorter term time frame. Yeah, that's all what I'm looking for on the shorter term time frame. Let's have a look at the MACD quickly because we are still trending down pretty rapidly. I was thinking the downtrend was going to fizzle out a bit, but you can see on this live candle right now that we are seeing momentum actually continue to the downside here. So that's definitely an area to be looking out for there in terms of levels of support. As I said, the confirmation that I really want to see here is not this, not the break of this symmetrical triangle, but the break of this level of support here in terms of this upward sloping support line in terms of the break of the parallel channel. That's the real congruent breakout that I want to see there, and then we can be using that as a short position. I'm not going to be going short in this area, guys. I'm really not. It's not for me, okay? So another thing to be looking out for there as well is going to be volume. Let's look at volume for a second. You can see this volume here trending down pretty nicely. We know what happens when a volume trends down. We're initially looking for a potential breakout in the price, guys. So this is definitely something we can be looking for there, which means a break in the volume as well. So yeah, ideally, when we come down to this sort of area, yes, we do get a nice breakdown and we can actually short the hell out of Bitcoin right now in that market. Let's jump to the midterm time frame for a second here and see what we're working with, because on the midterm time frame you can see here, guys, we're actually still in this, or we're on the breakdown of this upward sloping parallel channel, which we've been talking about for God knows how many weeks here. So that's definitely an area to really be the measure move for that is something along the lines of this all the way down to around 19,700, right? That's not going to be breaking any real crucial levels of support here apart from the level that we're testing already, guys. The level that we're testing already has been 20,700, that sort of area, and that's the most congruent higher low currently for this micro uptrend, right? So if we do come down to this 19,700, then I probably would expect some support before then at the Fibonacci of the 0.236. And that is the Fibonacci from the most recent downtrend coming through from there, guys. So yeah, just please be aware from that. And also you can see if I zoom out a bit here, where am I zooming out? Yeah, you can see, if I zoom out a bit here, you can see the point of control on the VPVR is very strong at 21,250. So in terms of live price right now, we're pretty much sat on that level, right? We're pretty much sat on the level, which is very, very, very crucial because if we can get above that, the support is going to be there. But if we stay below it, then we could see this ascending triangle actually break to the downside again. And that's when stuff starts to get a little bit more worrying, okay? And that will mean continuation of this, of the completion of this measure move here. I'm not sure if you want to add anything to that, Hammy. I mean, we do have a bullish divergence coming through right now, bang on in the middle here. So that does tend to mean that we do see some upwards momentum, which we did see most recently in the most recent 4-hour candle there. But we have actually seen a bit of a retrace coming through, looking for some sort of gravestone doji potentially, which is obviously bearish as well there, guys. So yeah, just be prepared for that stuff coming through. And yeah, that's pretty much what I would say about Bitcoin on the midterm, well, the short term and the midterm right now. As we said at the start of the stream, not that much going on in terms of moving averages. In terms of the EMA ribbon, because that's obviously made up with moving averages there on the shorter term time frame, it is getting quite choppy, right? Which indicates direction change in the trend. Okay, so that's another thing to be looking out for there. We are testing the 21 EMA, and also we have tested the resistance of the 10 simple 10 SMA as well there. And these obviously really far apart, which does mean the strength of the trend is high at the moment to the downside. Okay, so yeah, be prepared for all that good stuff. As I said, not that much going on, but yeah, I will throw it over to Hammy now and see if we can add to that in terms of probably the long-term time frame, Hammy.
Yes, sir. Just a little heads up, your strategy tester is open, so it might appear a bit small, but it seemed pretty good on my end anyway. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the chart here. Energy. No, we can see here, I've got a similar pattern drawn to you here, somewhat of an ascending triangle. And what you've drawn is actually fine. It's what I previously had drawn. And yeah, I mean, it's this current candle close trap does make it kind of less valid what I've drawn here, but I've got it in anyway just based on this most recent wick that's touched it, and just personally my trading style, I prefer the a bit more like this angle anyway, but it's debatable. I mean, you can just stretch it and the angle changes, but you know, this is just what I feel comfortable with right now. And we can see that we do have this trap zone here, similarly to what you've drawn as well. Technically, I feel like we should be drawing the trap zone down a little bit more, but I'm going to keep it here. It's just more correlative here, and this is just a dirty trap as well. And I'm just going to echo what you say here, just by saying, yes, it is ridiculously choppy, and drawing this pattern in is fine, but only really for a move towards the upside. And even if we do get this move towards the upside, I'm not too happy with it anyway, just based on this wick here and this upper trap zone formed from that wick. So yeah, if we were going to look for a trade here, it would literally be up here for less than 1%. Not fantastic. So yeah, just choppy, dirty price action right now. I want this to stop. I want some trend to happen, even if it is down here. So yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. It's not a fantastic pattern. It's not very fluid inside the pattern. It is just a dirty sideways mess right now. In terms of direction, in terms of what we're seeing, and again, 18 minutes left on this candle, as you can see. So yes, this is a 4-hour candle. This is something that has been going for 4 hours naturally, and it's something that I would expect potentially if we close down here to have either a trap towards the downside like this, and then another wick forming, or just a complete breakdown anyway, because obviously we know when patterns form like this, typically they will break down 2/3 or more the way through. So we're kind of roughly around that area right now, debatably anyway, depending on how you draw these lines. But yeah, I would expect this to break pretty soon. Besides that, I would just say, look, we've got volume moving averages right here. We've got volatility here as well. This volatility is HVP, so volatility percentile, and that essentially is based on from obviously 1% up to 100%, which would be 1 on this specific chart. So yeah, we've still got a ways to go here if we do want to continue this trend in a healthy way. And this is actually the indication of a pretty decent trend if this is as fluid as this. This, on the other hand, is more like significant of traps, right? Indicative of traps, that's the word. Yeah, and we can see, bring it back to the volume moving averages here. Yes, that is compressing. That is heading towards the downside. These are moving averages of volume. So yes, if this does want to head up above the other moving averages, this being the smaller moving average, right, then yes, it would be the beginnings of a trend. But we're not seeing too many hints of that happening just yet, which does make me think that we are due for a little bit potentially more sideways, but it really depends what's going on here. So I'm actually more leaning towards like a bit more of a trap and then continuation to fill this out a little bit more before we get any direction. But anything can happen here. Obviously, this is Bitcoin land, and I will just be waiting for this before taking any real like trending momentum based trades anyway, if this does want to come into fruition. And just to kind of show you some previous data here of when this is above, you can see here, obviously, monumental dump we've seen here on the 4 hour as this is trending above it. Fantastic stuff. And yeah, it's just indicative of trends. It's not indicative of direction, just to make that clear. So this could be going up and we could go either up or down, right? But it is more indicative of the direction staying prominent and us staying in that direction for a significant amount of time until the volume does start breaking out. So basically the same as what you're saying, Chester, here with volume actually compressing. You can see this coming down here on the 4 hour as well. And yeah, I'll just be waiting for that kind of breakout and anything in that kind of area that I've just talked about for us to start some directions. Let's talk about levels here. Okay, so if we are going to zoom out a little bit here, I've got a pretty messy little channel here coming through, but yeah, it's been a pretty messy chart. What can I say? So if we are going to look at this, my My opinion here hasn't really changed from previous days here that we've done this. I am looking for some kind of monstrous measure move towards the downside if we do break down here. And if that is the case, there will be beautiful momentum trades on the lower time frames along this line. Do I really want to be getting in a swing trade short if we lose this line? Personally, no. I'm not too interested in that. I'm more interested in the smaller scalps. That way, I'm not going to be stuck in a position. That way, if we do end up with a trap here, and we have been in this bear market for a while now, guys, this is not something that's new. This is something we're all pretty comfortable with at this point, right? So, yes, if we do head down here, I am expecting it to be a fairly quick event. I could be wrong here, and maybe everything crashes into the ground. Who knows? But the point here is, whatever happens, we are going to be trading it in that direction. And once we've been down in this area for a while, I would be expecting some kind of resonance up around 28k, just based on my experience anyway in these bear markets 6 years going on now. So yes, I mean, if we do get down, I'll be looking for the smaller trades in between these areas, but that will be on like an hourly, trading off like maybe a 7 SMA towards the downside, the webinar strategy, as you guys know. Besides that, let's take a look at the weekly here, because this is really where the star of the show is. We can see that, yes, we did make that low. We did get the long signal on hash ribbons, which is super important. Allow me to explain that really briefly, just 1 second. If you are familiar with it, just hang in there. It's going to be 2 minutes, don't worry. So we've got raw hash rate, this beautiful, very volatile line. This is the power going into mining Bitcoin, right? When this is above these lines, and these are moving averages, right? So when we are above these moving averages, the moving averages are more likely to cross towards the upside. That has indeed happened. And if we are looking at this in terms of just previous data here, and we talked about this last stream, but I do think it's important to hone this in, not focus too much on the short-term trades as much, because we are in such a volatile period until we really start breaking that 25k, as we talked about in the last stream, right, on Monday. Until we really start breaking that towards the upside, let's just be patient here. Let's find the trades that matter, and that's basically, if we want to continue this trend down, then yeah, we'll be looking for short-term trades, as I've said. And then if we want to break up, we'll be looking for a nice, beautiful investment long with some of our money, and then some of our money will be taking swing trades on the patterns that form on the way up, and then the rest of our money will be looking to scalp on the way up as well. So splitting it up, diversifying your risk with your stack here, and making money with that. But yeah, you can see here generally these moving averages coming up, and just beautiful trades. I've actually got them plotted on the chart from the last stream here. So we've got 161% there. We've just got ridiculous percentages coming through: 13, 31, 42. And ignore these closed position orders. These are just for this specific hash ribbons, like opening and close. So basically when these cross, or when they cross towards the downside, right? What we have with this specific strategy is, what we're doing is actually looking for the bull market barrier of free tool to close that trade, because it's just so reliable here. This is something we stumbled upon a few years ago now, and have made copious amounts of cash using over the past few years. So fantastic stuff. And you can just see here a ridiculous gains here for some of these. I mean, this one, just get away from me. It's just discussed 2,000% here on the 20k run. Obviously, I don't expect those kind of monumental moves, being this asset has obviously matured a bit more, and it's going to be less volatile in that sense. But anything can happen here. We get hyperinflation coming through. That could happen very, very easily, right? So what I'm expecting here isn't just a one green candle over a day to this bull market barrier. What I'm actually expecting is probably a little bit more sideways, like we saw over here, right, on the 6k drop to 3k, this disgusting bull market, which I'm sure a few of you remember anyway. And then once we do get that kind of break of important resistance, then the trend starts, and then it's time to really start looking at this beautiful move towards the upside. And let's just put a percentage on that, so we get that FOMO tingle coming through here. 160%, beautiful stuff. If obviously we longed here, I'm not looking to long there, so 118%, that's fantastic. And remember, that is 1x. Okay, that's if I buy some Bitcoin. Okay, no leverage, buy some Bitcoin, double your money. And let's just take a look at the time frame here that we saw with the 14k run as well. Do we have a time frame, time range, date range? There we go. So let's go from when we broke resistance. Okay, this was what, just 3 months. Okay, 3 months here, and that is this daily. Yeah, 3 months here, just an epic bull run to the sky. And obviously you wouldn't call that a bull run because we didn't break the previous all-time highs, but this is still, I mean, a monumental opportunity for making money if this does come into fruition. So I'm looking for 25k, maybe 30k if it doesn't look healthy up at 25k. But once we do break and we do look like this is going to continue towards the upside, and the macro is flipping towards the upside, then yes, this is going to be the ultimate girthy bull free money market that you have ever seen here, or seen since we obviously had this COVID ridiculous run that's never been seen before. But yeah, this is great. And then obviously, if we get above that bull market barrier, sky is the limit. All-time highs I expect to break, and then yeah, free money for everyone. What we can say here as well, and I haven't actually talked about this for a while on the daily, and I'll throw it back to you in a minute, Chester, don't you worry. I've been talking for a while. But yeah, we can see here that we had this ginormous pattern. I had this plotted in for literally months here, guys. Literally months, almost like a year, right? In that sense. So yeah, this is something that we have been looking at, and this is something, if we do look at the measure move on this bad boy, we can see, I know this was previously just a trend line, but I'm turning it into a measure move here. We can see here, yeah, we did complete that measure move down to 20k. We have had the bounce. So yes, any direction is possible right now after we've had this kind of refresher bounce that we kind of predicted would happen, exactly as predicted. So will we come down to the 14k run area, this beautiful pivot point here? Potentially, but as of right now, it does look more sideways than anything. So as long as this 20k, 18k area holds, I am expecting a bit more progressive price action and potentially something along the lines of parabolia towards the sky here. So again, don't just rush into long positions, but I am looking for that as soon as that momentum starts, as soon as it looks good. And I don't actually have the, I was going to show you one more thing here. The volume on the 12 hours is usually a fantastic indication of that as well on the breakout machine. I know some of you guys have this indicator, but yeah, the 12-hour volume here on this bad boy is great for signifying moves and really just honing in on the moves and the reliability of these bull runs. So yes, I'm looking forward to that, and if that does want to come sooner than later, it's all the better. What are you saying over there, Chester?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I was just looking at what Phoenix was saying in the chat, and that was saying basically EOS has been pretty popular. So I did ask you guys if you did want any altcoin requests. Didn't see anyone put anything in the chat. I mean, I didn't ask you personally, but I asked you in the chat. So maybe you didn't see the chat. So if you did want any altcoin requests, make sure you smash them in the chat. We will get to them as soon as possible. If it dies out, we'll just end the stream because Bitcoin's not really doing that much. So basically, you guys are keeping it alive. But yeah, I'm going to be starting off with EOS today here, and then and yeah, just break it down EOS for you guys and see if we can find some sort of trade. And we're not financial advisors at all. Let me just say that again, guys. We're literally here for educational purposes only. So do not just take any trade that we do say on this stream. So yeah, starting off with EOS here on the daily, got that cliche thing out of the way, right? Obviously, horrific bear market coming down. We are actually seeing quite a nice spike recently in the last week or so. It's been pretty progressive here for EOS. I would say it's getting quite a lot of attention. I mean, I did a bit of research into it a while ago. I actually forgotten pretty much everything that I did the research on because I haven't looked at this coin for so long now. But clearly there's something there. It's doing something. In the last week, it's probably done near enough 50% or 57%, all the way from the top to the bottom there. And currently up at around 33% for the week. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff for the last 5 days. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. It depends really whether we're actually going to find support on where we're at. Because as you can see, we have seen this pullback. We have seen this pullback from this obviously parabolic motion here, and the support is currently being tested, not broken yet, right? Because we go on candle body closes here, guys. It's not broken as of yet because you can see candle body openers here. We've still got literally 16 hours of this daily candle left to actually get right back up here. So we can get a candle body close above here, then I would expect probably some consolidation here for maybe a few 4-5 days or so, and then hopefully continuation of this macro trend, right? So yeah, it's looking pretty good for EOS. Well done to anyone who did actually buy the bottom here. It's actually looking pretty swift indeed. If we lose this level of support, which we're currently testing here, which is the 200 SMA and 200 EMA, very, very, very crucial moving averages here, guys. The areas that I really would be looking for here is, firstly, that's going to be definitely a trend line to be looking out for there. And then also going to be doing something along the lines of this, getting as many touches as possible. And maybe this is going to be the area where we're going to be setting our next higher low for this most current trend, right? Still respecting the market structure, still breaking highs continuously. As long as we don't break the real crucial area, which is around this sort of zone here. We will be below all major moving averages here on the daily if that does happen, and that's when I can probably really see quite a significant reversal here for EOS, because after pumping a significant percent, you're either going to consolidate, you're either going to come down and set a high low, or you're just going to absolutely tank it into the abyss, right? And we don't want that right now. We don't want that right now. Let me jump to the hourly and see what we're working with here. Probably some bull flag scenario, just looking at the chart straight away. I would say definite trend line down here. So if you are looking for any sort of move, continuation to the upside here, that's sort of the thing that I really would be honing down on. I wouldn't see what I was gonna draw. I was gonna put this in something along the lines of that then. But the reason why I didn't do that is because we're still not finished in this candle. It's still not congruent in terms of any sort of pullback here. So we can't really get that much data here for this chart pattern. So right now, what I actually would be doing is probably something along the lines of this, in terms of banging a horizontal in there, because you can see the support that we have had multiple times here from obviously this high and then coming down. We are seeing this support get tested multiple times. Now, it's very crucial where we're at here, guys. The reasoning for this is because we're actually breaking out of this chart pattern to the downside, descending triangle, breaking to the downside here. This could be this could be monumental. No, it could be like pretty decent for a little trade here. Not the biggest thing in the world. Obviously, this is the non-greedy measure move. If you wanted to be the greediest guy or gal out there, you could do something along the lines of this. That's the next sort of measure move that we could be looking for. And to be honest with you, after seeing such a significant pump, and we have lost the volume weighted ATR band, we have broke the price action channel as well on the hourly. I would be looking for probably one more bearish candle here below the 55 EMA, and then we could really predict where this asset is actually going to go, right? So we're going to be using that high to start off with, and then going to be using the candle body closes along that sort of area as well. So yeah, these are two definite take profits I would not rule out here for a potential higher low. If we are going to go short, it would be definitely a candle body close below the 55, and also obviously a break of this ascending triangle as well. So yeah, overall, EOS looking fairly bullish to the upside on the macro sort of side of things, but we do need to set a higher low for it to be a healthy uptrend, right? After seeing spikes like this, only naturally people who bought here, they're going to start selling off their asset, right? They're going to start banking that profit, and that's when we see the price slowly start to dwindle down. Okay, so yeah, I wouldn't rule out coming down to around 1.63 at all, to be honest with you. Really wouldn't rule that out, but I probably would expect some sort of bounce and continuation of the trend after that, because we are seeing confidence coming into this asset. Did you want to jump onto another request, Tammy?
Yes, sir. We've got a waves request here coming through, so I will bring that up and we will dive in deep, because we got something beautiful here. We've got something beautiful. It's a double Klinger volume oscillator, bullish divergence. We love to see it. And yeah, you're basically saying, let me just check who this was. Yeah, Peter. Is this one of your guys? Mr. K or Mrs. K, or wherever you land on the spectrum. We're basically looking at waves right now, and we can see that it's looking actually a bit better, a little bit better here than what we've seen previously. This has actually been pretty volatile. I'm actually looking right now, just a side note before we do jump into this, I'm looking right now for some altcoins that are super volatile and that won't go to zero, right? So we want something that's established, kind of mid-cap, that won't go to zero, that has potential over the next bull run to survive, right? And that's essentially what I'm looking at right now. And just looking at this generally, looks pretty good for that kind of perspective for grid bot trading, right? But if we are looking at this right now on the 4 hour, we're seeing, yes, we had that divergence coming through. And yeah, it has broken towards the upside. Let's see how it's looking compared to this trend line. Okay, we are just testing the trend line right now. So we'll see how this goes. Actually, this is just terribly drawn. There we go. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, so we're testing this right now. It's a debatable one whether we get rejected. I would probably argue more towards the rejection side, but if we are looking at volume, we're seeing some pretty nice healthy spikes here. As this does begin to kind of get an attempt at a wave up here. So we can see here as well. Actually, I do just want to take this because a lot of altcoins are very different here with the volume oscillators. But yeah, we can see here, that's a pretty decent one. Yeah, I'd say there's enough here to say that when this does get above it, if it looks good and if it's kind of overextended in this area towards the downside, that yeah, we should be expecting some kind of move right now towards the upside. I wouldn't just bang it along right yet. Okay, so hold that leverage slide steady because this could easily trap like we've seen here, right, and like we've seen a lot of the time in this area. So and I'd probably wait for Bitcoin to make some dominant move here and lead the rest of the coins in a direction. And then this would be something I would target for decent percentage moves anyway. We're seeing pretty decent kind of ranges coming through with this thing. Anyway,
I hate waves.
Me too. Yeah, it's I actually got offered a sponsor from them with the Waves Ducks thing. And we couldn't reach an agreement, unfortunately. But yeah, this was like peak bull market, obviously. But yeah, I looked at the project and it just seemed a little like, I don't know, money grabby. I'm not sure about Waves the coin. I know Waves is a blockchain, right? But yeah, that project in itself was a bit like meh. But we'll see. We'll see if this coin can maintain the price. It seems to be okay right now. If we're looking in kind of conjunction with Bitcoin and what Bitcoin's done over the year, it's held pretty nicely in comparison. So what I'll say here is, yeah, I mean, longer term, I'm still going to be looking for these important levels to break. So we'll check out 6.86 here. If we do want to break that, that'll be fantastic for a longer term trend, right? In terms of the more immediate term, we can see here, yes, we are testing this trend line. It's looking pretty good so far. We're not out of the woods completely. We've got this like little hump here that we need to get over. So yeah, I probably put the target here on 5.31 for an entry. And if that does look good and it looks profitable, what I'd want to see here, that's not right. What I'd want to see here is probably a retest of the trend line first, okay? Because sometimes these things can just grind down very, very easily, particularly with altcoins. So just be careful with that one. As well as that, I will also say that despite the volume, despite everything looking a little bit better, this is typically quite choppy price action, right? We're seeing this across the board with a lot of the altcoins. So it's not something to really hone in on. And I'd probably just say the same thing I've said here with Bitcoin, and that is just be patient. You don't need to get into trades right now. There will be far more beautiful opportunities in the future, particularly if we start trending towards the up or downside, right? So if we break 20K towards the downside, there's going to be some beautiful trades on altcoins in the shorts side of things, right? And then Bitcoin as well and Ethereum. But if we break towards the upside with Bitcoin above 25K again, then yes, coins like this will literally just moon as well. So fantastic stuff if you can find that. But I would recommend against a trade right now. But if you put a gun to my head and said, Hamilton, it's Thursday night trade off. You've got this coin. What are you gonna do? Trade it now. Then yeah, I'd probably be looking for that, the retest, and then breaking of the high after that, right? So breaking of the high and then riding that up. If we're gonna put a measure move on this as well. And again, I don't really, not like a super fan of doing this on altcoins, but just trap zone in there for no reason. We're not even close to that area, but you know, it just sort of looks neat. We can see here that yeah, I mean, there is a pretty decent wave here that can literally lead us towards the upside. Sorry, terrible joke there. But yeah, the target on that would be 591, which is actually roughly where we're looking for the potential move towards the upside and a break into this next kind of pivot zone, as you can see here. But I would expect super chop here. Super chop, just based on all of the stuff we're seeing in terms of our automatic pivots being put in. So that's cool. Let's take a look at the daily with this thing. And yeah, anything else? I think we've got an MR in there as well. Cool. Yeah, we're completely up for doing a challenge, guys. Absolutely, that'd be great. We're just kind of focusing on the production value, growing the stream, making sure everything is good before we do experiment a little bit more. I did just want to say hey to a few people in the chat. Bones and Stitch, what's good? Nice to see you back. Petra, I still can't say it. Tell me how to say it. Her Optimus, nice to see you back. Phoenix, Natalie Kelland. Who else we got here? And Crypto Chester in the chat. What is good? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming back here. And yeah, likes are all appreciated, all that good stuff. You know the drill here. You know the drill. It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, if we're looking at this right now, yeah, just resting on the pivot. If we do lose this 409 area, I'll be a little bit more cautious, particularly with this daily. I mean, yeah, it's an area where we could literally fall down even like half in price, so just be careful with that. A lot of coins are in this kind of wow, what is this? What is going on there? Jeez. Crazy. But yeah, in terms of the more kind of short-term areas, then yeah, I mean, it's looking a little bit more like it's breaking up on the shorter time frames, but right now I would just be cautious with it. This could just be a bounce after ridiculous amounts of red candles right before continuation. And even on the daily here as well, we're not seeing the trend lines being put in. If it was something along the lines of this, then yes, it would be a little bit more reliable. terribly drawn, but yeah, you can kind of see what I mean there. But looking in terms of moving averages as well with this thing, pretty much the same story, right? We said probably a lot of chop around here if we do get up there, and yes, the price action channels there, lots of moving averages. We call this in the forest because it's just, it could go any direction, just bouncing off the trees, right? So yeah, what I'd say here is if we do kind of get rejected here, look for this important area, basically under $5, 4.96, where this most recent wick is, and then I would probably expect this to come down from that point, along with probably a lot of other coins as well, including Bitcoin. Besides that, English version Peter is fine. Okay, Peter. Yeah, that's pretty much it from my end, Chester. What are you saying over there?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I mean, I think we've run out of requests in the chat. Bitcoin's not really doing that much. Not really
Got
that.
MR, I think.
No, that was he was responding to Mr. or Mrs. I think.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a coin.
So yeah, not really that much going on, guys. I'd just like to say that we do have Thursday night trade off tomorrow night where we do go head to head and we trade against each other with I think $300. And we basically spin these leverage wheels. It's great. It's good. It's a good fun. It's good fun. We look forward to it. It's great fun.
It's good fun.
It is pretty degenerate gambling, but yeah, it's a good laugh. So if you guys do want to tune into that, it will be probably 24 hours, probably 32 hours from now, something along the lines of that, right? So yeah, make sure you tune into that. And also, we are 3 subscribers away from 100. Literally 3 subs from 100. Pretty crazy stuff. If you could go and do that, that would be insane. I see 11 likes as well, guys. Absolutely smashing it. And also, if you want a bit more in-depth crypto updates from us solo style, you can do that on our own channels. That's me, Crypto Chester, and that's Hamilton of Crypto up there as well. But yeah, I think that's probably pretty much going to be it today. Wednesday's usually not the most busy stream in the world because a lot of people are like, it's midweek, isn't it? So a lot of people are pretty focused and stuff like that. See, we got Donna coming in straight away. Nice to see you on the stream there, Donna, catching us at the end. But yeah, I do appreciate you popping by. But yeah, I think that's going to be it from my side. I would just say Bitcoin is boring right now. What are you saying, Amy?
Yeah, I'd agree. There's not too much going on. I'll do a little summary here and then we can end it. But yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a little look here. So again, the real summary here for Bitcoin is we have a ridiculous signal coming through towards the long side that I am looking, and obviously we're looking to take here, but we have a few factors, right? This is the real main point because we've been in this area for a while. This can chop around as long as it wants, but if this does want to start breaking above that 25k level, this is going to be just stupid opportunity here for those that see it, and not many people have seen it yet. So let's just find out what happens here. This does want to go lower, we'll reevaluate, right? We'll reevaluate. If this wants to actually follow through with the signal here, then yeah, just very exciting times coming through. Very exciting. So yeah, that's basically going to be it from me here. I don't know if you want to do another. I mean, I could just quickly summarize the 3 hour if you want, Chester.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, not really that much going on across the board, really.
Nothing's changed, right?
So literally consolidate, and it's just dead boring price action, right? So so yeah, the sideways money indicator is coming out.
That's it. So yeah, is this the right chart? Is this the right chart? Is it this one? I guess so. I swear I had drawings on this though. Oh well. Yeah, so if we are looking at this, just keeping you guys in the loop here, just very choppy, dirty price action here on the 4 hour, just kind of around this volume weighted ATR band. So yeah, if we lose this kind of 20k area, I would be very wary, and I'd be expecting some kind of moves down, testing the 18k area. But besides that, let's just see what happens. It's looking more like it's coiling up still. So yeah, I mean, we could literally have this for a couple more days, to say the least. I think my mic just popped or something, but yeah, it's an area to watch here, at least, would be 22k for potential scalps towards the upside, but it's not really something I'm too interested in just yet. Again, I want to see this reverse towards the upside and really go for that huge investment long signal, because that is just going to be free money for everyone. And make sure you subscribe for that, guys, because that is going to be ridiculous. Like, we'll probably be one of the most profitable channels out here if we're trading this towards the upside. So that's going to be it, I do believe. And yeah, stay tuned. See you guys tomorrow for Thursday night trade-off. That will be at what's this? Let me just figure out time zones really quick. Yeah, basically midday UTC. Okay, midday UTC 000 or 1 p.m. If depending on how things go. So yeah, be there for that because that's going to be fun. We both take $300. We trade against each other. You guys get to pick the coins we trade, so we give you guys value via updates on that as well, and then we just gamble and degen it out. So looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. Any few words?
No, that's it from me. I'm pretty much good. Again, thank you ever so much for watching, guys. But that's going to be it from us.
All right, peace out. Have a fantastic day, guys. And that's going to be it from Decentrahype. Have to check what channel we're on. Goodbye, guys.